Hey, what's up, guys? I'm back with another video. This time it's going to be for Warframe, and I'm just going over my new Vauban Prime build. This one focuses specifically on his third ability and his Fletched Orbs. So, with that being said, let's quickly go over the abilities. So, his passive, deal 25% extra damage to incapacitated enemies. That's really good, especially if you have a team. I'm sure they'll be incapacitated here and there, depending on what's with you. His Tesla Nervos, you are actually more than welcome to use this. It'll be doing a little bit of damage as well. Um, so, throw that out. It only costs 10 energy. It's nothing. So just throw that out when you can. It's a little bit extra. And then you have Mind Layer. This is where your Fletched Orb comes in. You can use the other ones um, for the incapacitating. So like your Tether Coil or um, I think that's actually the only one that does that. So your tether coil would be for that, but I'd be using Fletched Orb. At least get 4 of them out, and you're fine. Next is Photon Strike. This is what this build actually focuses on, and I chose to go with this because it's fun, not because it's the best. It is strictly because it's fun. So keep that in mind when you're, kind of looking at this build and deciding you're going to tell me that this build is bad or whatever. I don't really care if you think it's bad. I did this as a fun, non meta thing. I do not focus on the black hole. The black hole's cool, but there was a nerf to a mod that made it really good and it pissed me off. So I decided to go with a build focusing on the ability I actually like the most on Vauban, which is Photon Strike. Basically, it's a giant smite. You're just smiting your enemy, and that's just fun. So next is Bastille. This is your black hole type thing. Um, it's good. I mean, you can absolutely use it. It gets them all in one spot, so that you can use your photon strike and hit everything. So it's definitely good. You're definitely gonna want to use it. It doesn't hurt in any way, but this is just not what the build focuses on. And getting into the mods. First off, I use Growing Power. Applying status effects with weapons increase ability strength by 25% for 6 seconds. So, using your weapons status effects is always good, so you want status weapons on Vauban. That will be a focus. You can absolutely use the one. Where is it? Let me find it here. Corrosive Projection. That was the name. I could not think of the name. That is absolutely viable. Enemy armor reduced, minus 18% armor. You can use that if you feel it's better. I like Growing Power just because it has the potential to make the Photon Strike ridiculous. Next is Cunning Drift. This can be changed as well. Right now I use it because I didn't want to change the polarity too much from my black hole build. So right now I have an aura forma in the aura slot, and I'm keeping Cunning Drift because it does give ability range. Range is good. It's definitely not your primary focus in the build, but it's still good. And then we have Vigor. I chose this one because, again, I didn't want to change the polarities too much from the black hole build, but I do suggest if you want more strength, you want to be hitting for more, getting Blind Rage in there. That's probably your best bet, or Transient Fortitude. Either of those will work. Just keep in mind that you will be losing efficiency with Blind Rage, so you won't be able to span your Photon Strike as much. Now, duration. We are nuking our duration in this case because, again, we're not focused on the black hole. We're focused on the Photon Strike, which doesn't need duration. And then we have Umbral Intensify, plus 50% ability strength, plus 12.5% tower resistance. This is, well, it's your strength. And we pair that with Umbral Vitality, plus 500% health, and plus 12.5% tower resistance again. So these are amplifying each other. Definitely, if you can, max them out. If you haven't already, I haven't. I haven't been farming much. Been kind of taking a break from the game. But either way, those two together, really good. And then we have Fleeting Expertise. plus 60% ability efficiency, minus 60% ability duration. Again, we don't need duration, we do need efficiency, because we want to be able to spam the photon strike as much as possible. Flow, if you have prime flow, throw that in here, but plus 150% energy max with regular flow. I don't know how much it is for prime. And then we have Augur Secrets, plus 24% ability strength. This one, it gives us strength, and then we have a little bit of survivability with the 80% energy spent on abilities is converted to shield. Since you'll be spamming Photon Strike, this is actually not bad. And then we have Adaptation. It's just another form of survival. When damaged, plus 10% resistance to that type damage type for 20 seconds, stacks up to 90%. So we have Vigor and Adaptation for our survival. So, I mean, you might as well get them in there. And then we have Power Drift. We have this one in here because if we take a look at my other build, we were using a specific mod to Vauban. So I didn't want to get rid of that because I still like this build even though it got nerfed. But it's good to keep Power Drift in my case. You could absolutely change this if you wanted. If you feel like you want to go all in on this build, again, Transient Fortitude or Blind Rage is a good replacement. You would just have to forma for it. Overall, this build only takes 5 formas. The way it is, if you want to change things, it might take more, might actually even take less. It just depends. The reason it's taking me 5 is because I used the black hole build before. So keep that in mind when you're doing the build. Then for the arcanes, I use Arcane Grace and Arcane Guardian, which I use on most of my frames because I don't have a whole lot actually done. I haven't done Eidolon farming in a long time, and I don't know when I'll get back to doing it. But Arcane Grace and Guardian keep you alive, so nothing wrong there. Alright, and with that, let's go ahead and show off the build. So let's get my Castle War out. I'm going to go ahead and try to get a little bit of stacks real quick. So get some of that there. All right, and then we just Photon Strike. Just blows them up. And then Photon Strike. It's just a lot of fun. And then let's go ahead and show with the black hole. Once they're all kind of pulled in, we'll be able to Photon Strike them all in the one spot. Granted, with our range, we don't specifically need to do that, but it doesn't hurt. So, and actually, it might have hurt. All right, so maybe don't use your black hole too much. That seems like it actually screwed things up. Never noticed that before. So, basically, just focus on your Photon Strike. You can absolutely use Fletched Orbs. Let me simulate these again. So, let me show off the Fletched Orbs real quick. Let's get a couple of those out. They're just shredding through them, as you can see. It's definitely worth getting them out if you're just kind of in like a survival or a defense, because they'll just do extra damage. And then as for our first skill, they don't do very much, but it holds them in place. They do more damage that way, and it makes it to where your Photon Strike does a little bit more as well. So absolutely use your whole kit. If you're going to go hard on this build specifically, maybe think about getting rid of the black hole for something more useful. It's up to you, but yeah, I honestly love the build. It's a ton of fun, and it's definitely worth doing. But with that being said, guys, let me know what you think of the build. Let me know what you would change. If you have a build you want me to check out, just let me know. If you think the build's bad, go ahead and say it. I'm just probably going to ask you why, or if you're a dick about it, I'm going to ignore you. So just keep that in mind. But with that being said, guys, if you like this video, hit that like button. If you want to see more content like this, hit that subscribe button. As always, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time.